Hello everyone, my name is Mini Sethi. I hope you all are staying healthy. Today we are going to talk about Friedman restatement of quantity theory of money. Milton Friedman in 1956 very beautifully restated old quantities theory of money. That's why it is called Friedman's restatement of quantity theory of money. One thing Friedman clearly said, this is not theory of output, prices or income. This theory mainly focuses on demand for money. He explained demand for money as a demand for asset. According to him, demand for money not only influenced by transaction but also influenced by wealth, expected return on asset and preferences of individual. Demand for money is function of three variables. That means how much money we demand, it's all depend on these three variables. Total wealth. In reality, actual estimation of wealth is not possible because we invest our money in so many places. That's why income serve as an index of wealth. According to Milton Friedman, income is a surrogate of wealth. That means in place of wealth, we can use income. How much money we demand, it's depend on how much income we earn. Division of wealth between human and non-human wealth. How much money we demand, it's depend on how much money we need to spend on human wealth and non-human wealth. Human wealth means our knowledge, skill, our productive capacity. And non-human wealth means material goods like car, mobile, AC. And how much money we demand, it's depend on how much money we need to spend on human wealth and non-human wealth. Next is expected rate of return on money. How much money we demand, it also depend on profit on money which we are going to invest. For example, interest rate on bonds or we can say that dividends on shares. According to this theory, wealth can be held in five different forms. First is money. Money include cash, demand deposit, time deposit, bonds. Bonds provide us a fixed income security. Equities are a value of our share. Physical and non-human goods. Physical and non-human goods include inventories of producer and consumer durable goods. Producer durable goods means tool, equipment, machinery that businesses hold. And consumer durable goods means car, mobile, AC which our consumer have. And human capital include productive capacity like skill, knowledge, experiences of human being. Now we will see formula of calculating current value of wealth. W equal to Y over R. Here W represent current value of total wealth. Y represent total flow of expected income from five form of wealth. We have already discussed five form of wealth: money, bonds, equities, non-human goods and human capital. How much income we expect from all these five form of wealth will be called Y, or we can say that will be called total flow of expected income from five forms of wealth. Here R represent interest rate. Now we will see demand function for individual wealth holder, and this is equation of demand function for individual wealth holder. M represent total stock of money demanded. P represent price level. Together M over P represent demand for real cash balance, or we can say that M over P represent real demand for money. And real demand for money is function of all these variable, or we can say that real demand for money depend on all these variable. Here Y represent real income, W represent wealth in non-human form, and we have already discussed about non-human wealth. RM represent expected nominal rate of return from money. That means how much profit you expect from money which you are going to invest. RB represent expected rate of return on bonds, means how much interest rate you expect from bonds. And RE represent expected rate of return from equities, means how much dividend you expect from your shares. And GP represent expected change in prices, means how much you expect your property or asset price will increase or decrease in future, so that you can know expected nominal return on your assets. and you represent, this one you represent variable other than income that affect our utility for money. Now we will see diagram. On x-axis we have money demand and money supply, y-axis we have nominal national income, and this is a money demand curve, S1 are money supply curve. Shape of money supply curve are vertical because money supply will remain constant at particular point of time, because money supply is decided by monetary authority, not by people of country. E is our original equilibrium point, MS, this one is our initial money supply curve, and OY is our original or we can say the initial income. Now suppose money demand is constant, only money supply increase. As a result, money supply curve shift forward from S to S1. This is new money supply curve. E1 is new equilibrium point. According to this theory, if money demand is a constant while money supply increase, then nominal national income will also increase. In this diagram you can clearly see money demand is constant. As money supply increase from S to S1, our nominal national income also increase from Y to Y1, and E1 is our new equilibrium point. Now we will see criticism. This theory gave very broad definition of money. That means this theory includes so many things in definition of money which was not required. This theory ignore velocity of money, which is very important. This theory gives so much importance to total wealth. This theory doesn't consider time factor. No doubt this theory explain there are so many things which influence money demand, but how much time they will take, this theory doesn't explain about it. This theory neglect interest rate influence on money demand. According to this theory, money supply is only decided by monetary authority, but in reality, money supply influenced by prices, output and interest rate, but this theory ignore this. And this theory neglect consumer and investor optimism and pessimism, but in reality, money demand also influenced by consumer and investor optimism and pessimism. So this is all about Friedman restatement of quantity theory of money. I think you got it, and thank you so much for watching this video. Bye, take care.